Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. Welcome back to one of my favorite evenings of the month here on TCM when I'm joined by a guest programmer. And I couldn't be more pleased or prouder than to have the fellow with me who's sitting to my right, Nathan Lane. Among his many recent acting jobs, has been recurring roles on two of the best shows on TV right now, Modern Family and The Good Wife. Welcome back, Nathan.
Thank you, Robert. Always great to be here.
The next movie Nathan chose for us is based on a novella by Jerzy Kosinski. It's Being There, released in 1979, starring Peter Sellers, Shirley MacLaine, and Melvyn Douglas. Now, this is kind of a forgotten film, I think, by too many people. So I'm so pleased that you picked it.
Oh, good.
So talk a little about Being There and Peter Sellers.
Oh, man. Is there anybody better than Peter Sellers? Look, this is a director that also, I think, is a little forgotten. One of the great directors of the 70s.
Hal Ashby.
Hal Ashby.
Yes.
Who did Coming Home, Bound for Glory, Being There, Shampoo. You know, it goes on and on. Harold and Maude.
Right.
Really great movies. And, you know, and Peter Sellers, it's the part. He was desperate to play the part, and he contacted Jerzy Kosinski and told him he was Chauncey Gardner. He had to play it, and in fact invited him to his home, and he acted out, gardening. He took he was watering plants, and Kosinski said he'd never seen anyone look so calm, and he had this sort of childlike quality about him, and he thought he really is the character. You know, some people, it's a very funny film. Some people see it as a fable. Some see it as a social satire. Certainly at the time, it was, Kosinski was, frightened by the power of television taking over the world. And, when we thought of it as the boob tube. And
right.
When movies were for children, where movies were for adults and television was for children,
right.
Whereas I think today television is for adults and the movies have become,
right.
For 15-year-old boys. Just as in terms of the comedy, it's I think holds up very well.
And are you a particular fan of Peter Sellers?
Well, yeah. I mean, he was a genius. There was nobody like him, and what he could do, his versatility, and I mean, obviously he had some issues. Apparently, he was a troubled soul and,
right.
and a rather complicated gentleman off camera, but. His work on camera is unbelievable, the body of work. And I mean, a lot of people remember, obviously, the Pink Panther films, which he's brilliant in. But this is, it's interesting. He lost the Academy Award that year to Dustin Hoffman for Kramer versus Kramer, which is another great performance. But, it's like comparing apples and oranges. But this performance I think, is pretty extraordinary, what he creates, because it's very difficult. It could easily be dismissed as, oh, he's a simpleton, and yet there's a purity about him, an almost angelic quality. But in the meantime, aside from his monumental performance in the center of it, what really makes it work are the way people react to him, because the whole movie is about that. They're seeing him as a more profound person than he may or may not
right.
be. And Melvyn Douglas, who won the Oscar, and Shirley MacLaine, and Richard Dysart, and he's the one who sort of thinks something is up.
Well, you said
I think I love this movie.
Yes, I think so,
When are we
too.
putting out the popcorn?
Well, soon.
Really?
Soon.
Okay.
Okay. So let's watch the movie.
Oh, good.
And we'll get the popcorn in the meantime. Here's a film that brought Peter Sellers an Academy Award nomination as Best Actor, and as Nathan said, brought Melvyn Douglas the Oscar itself for his supporting performance. 1979, Being There.